Lutzer. No, wrong. College classic. Did you say college classic? Cat? Well, sure you did. Well, we got a book here. It's an illustrated history of the Reformation. Oh, I'm gonna get down. Okay. Rescuing the gospel. The story of significance of the Reformation by Erwin W. Lutzer. I don't know who he is, but we're gonna find out. And we got this book. It's called a riveting account of the Reformation and why it matters today. Does it really matter? I mean, it's something that happened a long time ago. It's not going to reoccur, is it? Will we see a reoccurrence? No, of course not. People are using witchcraft today like they did in those days. They feel little prickings on your body and on your private areas, and women even say they can feel hands touching them. The Reformation unfolded in the cathedrals and town squares of Europe, in Wittenberg, Worms, Rome, Geneva, and Zurich. The story begins with the Catholic Church and its desperate need for reform. That's what we need today, isn't it? The dramatic events that followed are traced from John Wycliffe in England to the burning of John Huss at the stake at the Council of Constance, to the rampant sale of indulgences in the cities and towns of Germany to Martin Luther, nailing the 95 Theses to the door of the Catholic, to the door of the Catholic Church in 1517 to John Calvin's reform at Geneva, which you can read some stuff with John Calvin you'll probably like, which isn't Calvinism, right? Okay, I have my own actual thought about Calvinism, but a lot of people have their interesting thoughts about Calvinism. Oh, he's a devilist. Oh, he renounced God. And maybe before we go into all that, we should really look at the heart and thoughts of what Calvin was suffering from. But anyway, in prose that captivates as it reforms, because I actually believe Luther disrespected the Pope. And I believe that Lutheranism is an abomination for the Lutheran Church. I'm sorry, unless it's reform, its apologetics are set into the standard required by the Catholic Church, and then it break from the Catholic Church and go ahead and move on, and with the authority and the approval of the Catholic Church, and I would say yes, it's okay. But if it didn't do that, which it did, I believe it did. There was a reconciliation between the Pope and Luther, and then whatever else came after that was because they decided to stay in Lutheranism. Christ can make things good, and we have to bear on that. We have to trust that. I believe that my daughter probably wouldn't agree with that. She's a very strong Catholic and a pillar of the church. She wouldn't agree with that. And I don't blame her. But I do know that we have to set a standard of forgiveness and reconciliation for all means of hell. And we're going to find it. Thank you. In prose that captivates as it informs, Erwin W. Lutzer captures the people, places, and big ideas that fueled the Reformation. He explains its lasting influence on the Church and Western civilization, and perhaps most importantly, he shows why the actions of passionate believers 500 years ago still matter today. And they really do. So we do look for the reconciliation of the Protestants, the Catholics, and the Lutherans, and whatever else may come or may be. But we don't really want to condemn anybody. That's the most important thing, is that we're not looking for condemnation. They're looking for salvation. At the Reformation's 500th anniversary, Erwin Lutzer reminds us not only why the Reformation is one of the most significant events in Western history, but also why it still holds important lessons for the church today. As Lutzer demonstrates in this book, the theological convictions of Luther, Zwingli, and Calvin need to be recovered as an antidote to the watered down gospel proclaimed from many Protestant pulpits in our day. Every Protestant needs to recognize the incredible theological depth we owe to the Reformers. Let this book introduce you to their lives, their ministries, and most importantly, their theology. Albert Mohler Jr., the president of Southern Baptist Theological Seminary. This book looks really good, and I think I'm going to enjoy it. And here's just a picture of the man we're going to be reading about soon. His name is Erwin W. Lutzer, and he is Winnipeg Bible College, M.A., Loyola University, Dallas Theological Seminary. Has been senior pastor of Moody Church in Chicago for 36 years. He has led tours to the sites of the Reformation in Europe, including Wittenberg, Worms, Geneva, and Zurich. He is the ECPA Gold Medallion award-winning author of Hitler's Cross, as well as many other books, including The King is Coming and When a Nation Forgets God. He is the featured speaker on 3 radio programs, including Running to Win. Oh, so you're here. Lutzer and his wife, Rebecca, live in the Chicago area. Thank you. A stirring story of courage and cowardice, betrayal, and faith. The gospel that Jesus and the apostles proclaimed in the first century is the gospel that Martin Luther and the reformers proclaimed in the 16th century. And it is the same gospel we must proclaim today. With pastoral wisdom and passion, Dr. Lutzer explores the remarkable story of the Reformation, and he is powerful demonstrates why the story of the Reformation is. In fact, our story, Dr. Lutzer, sounds a much-needed clarion call to the generation that is quickly turning away from the one and only gospel. This book looks good, and I like this guy. I listened to him on the radio, so this goes in the collection of books as well. This is College Classic Campus. I'm T.C. Barra. Jesus loves you.